The Super Mario Galaxy movie was not great, but did it ever have to be? Personally, I really liked it for the reference slop that it was. It was really fun, it was really fast, but that's fine. The movie has a large plethora of flaws, but it didn't have to be anything more than fun, and that's fine. I just want to preface that now and make it abundantly clear. I liked the Super Mario Galaxy movie, but I also recognize that it's not a great film. Does it deserve hate? Definitely not. Does it deserve bad reviews? Opinions are subjective, and this one is my own. So feel free to discuss with me what your opinions are in the comments, and I'll always respect them. Unless they're wrong. I will. Also like and subscribe if you like what you see, :D. This video will be sectioned into 2 segments. What I deem to be wrong with the movie, and how I try to fix it, so a slight rewrite. Again, I want to make it clear, I liked this movie. Just because I'm criticizing it doesn't mean I think it's poo-poo caca. I had fun pointing and pogging at every reference too. So please don't smack me in my nuts and rob me of my future. This is your spoiler warning for the video. If you have not watched the Super Mario Galaxy movie or the Super Mario Bros. Movie from 2023 and don't want to be spoiled, save this video until after you do. If you're a big Nintendo fan, let's be real, you've already probably seen it, but just in case, this is your spoiler warning. Let's proceed on with the video. If you like this movie, you're either a big Nintendo fan or a little baby. I mean, let's be real. Is there really a difference between the two? Stop! I'm sorry. It was a joke. I'm a Nintendo fan too. Guys, please! Seriously though, this movie, in my opinion, was 100 minutes of illumination and Nintendo jiggling keys in our faces. And if I'm gonna be completely honest, I ate that shit up. Yeah, I was right there with everyone who absolutely loved this movie, pointing and screaming at King Wart, Birdo, the SS Dolphin, and Pikmin, and Fox, the Cloud. Shoot. Just the opening shot of the Comet Observatory and the Luma's bedtime story was enough to make my nostalgic hairs on my arms stand and shiver as my heart dropped. My mind was reminded of a simpler time. The music. Oh my goodness, the music. Luigi, I just want to touch you all over your manly chest. Wanna bury my face in your breast. Luigi, you're so freaking sexy. And you got me in a trance. When Bowser doesn't stand a chance to save the day. Take that feeling and multiply it by 10 for every Mario title you've ever played, and multiply it by 100 if you played Super Mario Odyssey in particular. The thing is though, if you take away these references, what are you left with?
There's nothing. Thank you, Shen.
This movie is so overtly stuffed with references upon references that it actively hurts the movie. The pacing is so terribly fast that it feels somewhat nauseating at times, and I strongly believe this is due to 2 reasons. New settings mean more possible references, and more possible references mean a higher retained audience. But this only works for Nintendo fans, or people who are at the very least familiar with Nintendo IPs. There's no substance in this movie. Its plot is held up by strings and weighed down by references that are banking on getting you to react a certain way. What's the issue with fast pacing? As I've mentioned in my video on Markiplier's Iron Lung, something you should watch by the way, the central issue with that movie was that it was way too slow, as the rate of which questions were generated overcame how often they were answered. Iron Lung gave the audience too much time to think, but this one doesn't give you any time at all. We're constantly jumping from setting to setting here, and if you're not Easter egg hunting and staring at the background, you're left to wonder the same question a slowly paced movie generates, which is, what is going on? When talking to my friends after the movie, my second viewing, I talked about how this movie really lacked structure, and stuff happened simply to happen. There was no structure, there was no substance. Is there a reason why the SS Dolphin and Pikmin are here? No, but it's cute and fun to see the little guys walk around. Is there a reason why Bowser Jr. has all of Professor Egad's stuff? No, but it's fun to see the Poltergust and the Flood on Junior's weapon wall. Is there a reason Mr. Game & Watch spawned? No, but guess what? It was fun to see him beat up Dry Bowser. Is there a reason why when Junior spawned in the Odyssey Dragon, it was his only construct to try and kill him? No! But it was fun to see Mario get a red star and become Flying Mario for a little bit, just to save Junior. All of this stuff happens, but it's fun, and that's all this movie has to be. References aside, I think my other big issue with the movie was its overinflated cast of characters. There were too many of them with not enough to do. Don't get me wrong, I love these guys. I grew up playing with them, so to see new life breathed into them is always refreshing. But oh my god, bro, Toad does absolutely nothing in this movie. Rosalina nearly gets turned into a MacGuffin if it weren't for her sister story with Peach, but as one of Galaxy's biggest characters, one of the biggest hitters in the Mario universe, she's restricted to being stuck in a weapon of mass destruction. The more I think about it though, the more I also miss Donkey Kong, but specifically what DK was for Mario, a foil. This cast of characters all get along so well, and while we see one-sided beef between Toad and Yoshi, none of that gets payoff since Yoshi doesn't give a gaff about Toad's beef. We could have had Fox be a foil for Mario, but nah, they immediately get along, and that's fine. It's sweet, it's fun, but it could have been so much better and much more fulfilling. With all of these characters and references, this movie is equivalent to cotton candy. It's sweet and yummy and fun, but you can't eat it and expect it to be as filling as a full meal. It reminds me of how important it is to experience multiple tones throughout a story, to have low points to compare the highs to. The first movie had this, as Mario and DK had their heart-to-heart at a low point in the movie, when all had seemed lost after they fell off Rainbow Road. Once they learned to work together, the high of seeing them fight their way to Peach made the audience feel like they were flying. This movie is just the epitome of how too much of a good thing can be a bad thing, and that's why I think it's safe to say this movie was fun, but that's all it was. It's sugar throughout the whole movie. It's cotton candy. So how do we give it substance? Before we jump into the slight rewrite for fun, please drop a like if you're enjoying what you're watching so far, and subscribe if you're really feeling it. Okay, time to give this movie... First, let's establish some proper themes. To be honest, I thought the movie was already going to go this route, but obviously didn't, or I wouldn't be talking about it like this. Let's see if you can connect the dots that I did going into this movie, and if you can't, no worries. Following the Super Mario Bros. Movie in 2023, the Super Mario Galaxy movie introduces Rosalina, Mother of the Stars, Bowser Jr., son of Bowser, and Yoshi, son of Luigi?
Mama Luigi?
Jokes aside, do you see the connecting bonds between the new characters yet? Beside Yoshi, of course, this movie should have had a strong theme not only about family, but parenthood. Rosalina's a great mother to her Lumas, and Bowser's an impactful father to Bowser Jr., yet he struggles to find self-worth, wanting to impress him by doing evil things too. He's a kid after all. But I think there's a lot to say about parenting and the relationship between a parent and their kid. You might be thinking, Azra, this is a kid's movie. It doesn't have to be serious. I agree, but it doesn't have to be complete mush either. Kids media can be fun while tackling themes adults can still relate to, and I think the Mario movies can do that too, considering how timeless the IP is. Our theme should cover the relationship between a parent and their kids. Now that we have a general idea of what our theme should cover, let's hone in a bit more and make it specific. Parents can show their love for their kids in many ways. I think with a theme like this, we technically don't even need to tweak much more, and we can still have our references. We can still have our Star Fox. We can keep the Rosalina and Peach sister plot too. There are just a couple scenes we need to replace with some deeper ones to build up these characters. Rosalina's already established as a loving mother to her Lumas, but maybe something she can do is learn to be a stricter mother. Just take the bedtime story scene where the Lumas speak over her and want her to tell the story about the plumbers. With how cute the Lumas are, I see how it's hard to tell your kids no. Rosalina gives in, but before she can retell the story, Bowser Jr. still tries to kidnap her. Here, we're introduced to a kid who was promised a world of his own. A kid who was never told no and takes whatever he wants. Within this first segment, we can still end it with Rosalina getting kidnapped. So this whole segment remains untouched, yet our intentions are different. Let's give our titular character something to do now. Maybe instead of opening with the Sand Kingdom and Tostarena, let's have the brothers go back to New York and visit their family, saying they need a few more things before they fully settle into the Mushroom Kingdom. But in reality, Mario wanted to get a special gift for Princess Peach. Yet when they get there, their mother somewhat struggles to let them go, but their father reassures her that they'll be okay, since they did save Brooklyn after all. They leave their home as their mom reminds them of how much their family loves them, and that they'll always have a home in Brooklyn. Luigi talks about how much they mean to Mom and Pop, and slightly wonders what it'd be like to be a parent. Mario shrugs it off, but then Luigi teases him about Peach as they get into the sewers. But as Mario blushes and is about to tell him off, a tongue appears and eats Mario's hat. As the brothers look up, they watch as Mario's hat falls back to the floor, covered in spit. A creature growls at them, Luigi cowers and screams, but Mario stands his ground. Luigi shakes off his fears and calms himself down as Mario's ready to tussle. And as Luigi finds his bearings, he gets closer to the creature with wide eyes. He takes a few steps in front of Mario and realizes that the monster isn't dangerous, it's just scared. Scared like he was. Luigi reaches out his hand and the creature reveals itself to be Yoshi. Luigi's eyes widen as Yoshi sniffs him a bit and immediately attaches himself to him, going as far to make a small noise that sounds like Mama. Mario catches wind of it and laughs at him even though Yoshi didn't intend to make that noise. Having just talked about what it'd be like to be a parent, Luigi embraces the joke, creating this bit where Luigi feels as if he has to parent Yoshi even though he's completely capable of taking care of himself. As they travel back, we can have our Yoshi flashback and he don't drop in all, but what that now establishes is why Yoshi feared humans, considering how they were actively hunting him down for his crimes and tax evasion. What this does is establish some character motivations for Mario and Luigi so that they have things to work on and do. Mario wants to get closer to Peach because of his feelings, so he has to build up courage to recognize his true intentions with the princess and act upon it. And now Luigi is a mother. So yeah, seriously though, Luigi can continue his character arc of fully discarding the scaredy cat persona he's always been written to have, having to be brave throughout the movie so Yoshi can be brave too. Except this is how he sees it. Yoshi's role here isn't to grow a whole lot yet, it's to establish himself as his own character. So while Luigi's caught up in this long-running bit that he is a mother, Yoshi's still making his own decisions and showing his own agency. This is a long-running joke to give both characters something to do. Now onto Peach, who arguably already does the most in the Galaxy movie. We're not going to touch her too much, but add on to what she already does with Mario so that Mario's story can develop more. Let's keep her celebration and fireworks. I really liked the scene on top of Peach's castle, where she talks about how she doesn't know where she came from and how much that bothers her. Mario still gives her her gift, and she notes how extra special the parasol is since it comes from Brooklyn. The Luma crash lands, and instead of Peach and Toad leaving to save Rosalina, just have Peach go on her own. Leave Toad at home. Seriously though, Toad can reassure the princess that he'll make sure things are fine at home. This gets rid of some of the character bloat and the Mario brothers can still stay behind. We can still have some fun beef between Toad and Yoshi, but now Luigi is there to tell Yoshi to be nice or something, still believing that he's his mom. Then we can have the castle be lifted into space like how it did in the movie. But as the last non-important Toad jumps into the water, our Toad can tell Mario that he'll protect the Mushroom Kingdom while the brothers are gone. And if we really want to, we can make him rebuild the other castle off screen with the other Toads while everyone has their adventure in space. Having Peach on her own shows her initiative to save her sister just as it does in the actual movie, and you can still have that fight scene with King Wart to keep those references. I think it'd still be neat to have Ukiki steal from Peach, but now it's just the parasol that Mario gave her, really incentivizing her to get it back because of how special it is. I think the only thing I'd add here is to show how Peach is getting more and more frustrated as things keep going wrong, so that when Mario and his party reconnect with her, he can bond with her fear of not being able to save her sister, just as he was scared of not being able to save Luigi. Luigi cuts in, it reminds them of what he said in the first movie, that when they're together, nothing can hurt them. I feel like establishing character motivations and relating them back to the family thing we're going for should give this movie much more substance to process and appreciate. The last character we really need to look at is Bowser, who can take two different routes. When Bowser becomes full-sized again, it makes that self-sacrifice to do labor for Queen Bee. I feel like he can either go the full route of becoming a good guy, one I don't necessarily like, or the other where he fully reverts back into evilness, like in the original. You can make Bowser Parent Jr. for the better or for the worse. Either have him reprimand his kid for doing bad things, showing that he's grown as a character and really feels bad for the things he did in the first movie, or full send all the bad things he does in general. My main issue is how fast Bowser flips back to the bad side in the original, so let's make his intentions more deliberate, more clear. Maybe keep some of his slight hesitation, but then let him fully send his evilness, as Bowser Jr. reminds him of what they could be now that they're together, that when they're together, nothing can hurt them. Bowser realizes his son is right, and instead of telling him to not kill the brothers, he gives him a bigger weapon, deliberately making his intentions from there on out clear that he has fully reverted. Other than this, the movie can remain somewhat the same. I'd even argue to add a scene before Junior gets his father back, and to have that be a heart-to-heart with Rosalina, to sell the whole parent theme as they both express their perspectives on parenting. To have Rosalina express how much she loves her Lumas, and to have Junior express how much he loves his dad. Just give these characters something to actively do, and you can still have your Star Fox and your Pikmin and your random gunship from Metroid in the background. You can even keep the T-Rex and the Baby Mario stuff since it'd be a role reversal for Yoshi, showing that he's perfectly capable of taking care of himself and the brothers, further establishing him as their equal. I'd also say to extend the ending a bit so it isn't so abrupt. Maybe throw in the installation of some galaxy references. Launch stars can be short forms of transportation. Make star bits into a candy store, or maybe a new currency, and show a bit of what it means now that Rosalina's home. Just please throw in a couple more galaxy references to keep this, you know, a galaxy movie. This movie's actually great. If only it had some properly established intention and character motivations juxtaposed to spontaneity. What do you think? Do you think my slight rewrite makes sense and gives the movie a bit of substance, or am I just yapping? What are your thoughts on the Super Mario Galaxy movie? Let me know down in the comments, and if you like this video, be sure to like and subscribe to stick around for more. And that's it for me today. Real quick, much love to all my friends who have to deal with all of my criticism and everything. I'm sorry if I ruined the movie experience for you, but I love you so much, and I hope you liked this video, so please don't hate it. I plan to talk about so many more things on this channel as well, so really be sure to subscribe and stick around. I actually do intend to talk about the Amazing Digital Circus. I just had to get this video out since the Mario movie just came out. I had so many things to say about it. In 2 weeks, I'll be talking about the Amazing Digital Circus, and I have no mouth and I must scream. I also play a lot of story games on Twitch, so be sure to follow me there if you ever want to experience things live with me. I try to go live every Tuesday and Thursday around 6 p.m. PST. So come and join the Discord and be a part of the Turtle Village for all sorts of updates and yap sessions. If you haven't heard it yet, I'm proud of you for still being here. Keep looking up and keep pushing forward. It's gonna be good. Rah!